Hey everybody, Jeremy Jackson here with another episode of Corrupt Westmoreland County. What I want to talk about today is just basically a brief rundown of the whole situation that I have going on and some of the things that have gone wrong that shouldn't have. Some laws that were broken, rights that are violated. I think it's time to speak out on some of those. So I'm going to give an introduction. My name is Jeremy Jackson. A lot of you guys know I'm a U.S. Army combat wounded veteran. I was shot when I was overseas in Iraq and was shot by a sniper and bled out pretty bad. Had about 24 surgeries altogether. My arm, leg, hand, all that stuff. So got a lot of things happening physically from that, but I'm still here and I'm glad to be here. Um, I've dedicated my life to doing the right thing and protecting others and helping other people. But when I tried to protect my own rights and to be a father to my children, the system turned on me. So here we are. This is my story. How Westmoreland County Family Court and Domestic Relations, local judges, attorneys, and agencies conspired to violate my constitutional rights, falsify records, and destroy my relationship with my sons. How it all started back in April 2024, I had 50-50 custody of my two sons. I'm not going to say their names because they are minors, but it don't matter. They're about 16 and almost 16, and one's 17 now. So because I've been cleared, okay, let's step back. So I had 50-50 custody of my sons. I wanted to get more custody of them because I seen they were lacking in general responsibilities, general kind of things that kids their age should probably already know about and how to do. So I figured it was my duty as their father to step in and unfortunately not be a fun dad anymore on the weekends like I used to be, but actually being a father and what a dad does, especially when he has sons. You teach them everything you can, how to be a man, a respectable man, a responsible man, and everything that goes along with that. Their mother retaliated by making a false statement to the Westmoreland County judge, the CYS, and the Pennsylvania State Police. She reported that whenever I had my sons over the house, my oldest son, I allowed him or gave him a marijuana vape pen. I know you guys heard this before, and that's fine, but I'm breaking it down for you guys. Plain and simple, easy and clear. So, the reason why she did that is because I'm going to speculate here, but it's a pretty good speculation. Is because if I would get any more than 50-50 custody, she would not get child support anymore. I would be the primary caretaker of those boys. And she couldn't let that happen. So if this has been going on, if I've been allowing or giving my son a marijuana vape pen for long before then, as she claims in some of her statements, then why wasn't nothing done about it before? Why was I never asked questions about it by her? What, hey, Jeremy, did you give our son a marijuana vape pen, or can you explain what's going on here? Nothing. But we know why she went and did this because I just told you why. So what that is weaponizing a court system to get her own personal gain out of it, which is shut me out, ruin my chances of getting my sons more, and make me fight for my freedom and my reputation. I'm not some big named person. I'm not some big wig of anything, but I still am a person. I'm a man, and I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm a brother, and I'm a friend to a lot of other people. And when things like that start getting tossed around that you give a kid, a minor, any kind of drugs or alcohol, it's just not going to look good on you, and people are always going to look at you and wonder if that person did it. So, yeah, that's how that works. And a lot of people that know me know I would never do that. They don't know the full story of it. And there's people online stating, well, you admitted on camera that you gave your kid a CBD vape. So what? I didn't give him illegal drugs. Uh, so go piss off. Straight up. Anyhow, I get carried away here. Um, so that's what happened. I got retaliated against because I wanted more time with my kids. It had nothing to do with taking the kids off of the mother or anything like that. I even told them you could see your mother anytime you want. I would never stop you guys from seeing your mother. Um, so anyhow, we get to the court aspect of it when she got granted a temporary emergency custody order. Um, After I got the paper, well, as I said before, I didn't get served correctly. My ex texted me the PDF form of the emergency custody order. That is a violation of Pennsylvania and federal laws. You cannot send one party cannot serve the other party, especially via text message, emergency custody order. It don't work that way. The judge knew about it. The lawyer that I had told me to drop it because I actually filed contempt, as I told you guys in my last video. Um, so there was just so many things done wrong, and that's why I'm hammering these people and I'm going after them, and I'm not gonna stop. I'm not gonna quit. Um, so we have the court aspect of it. They took the kids off of me, took my rights away to be a father. Um, then I had the CYS, the Children and Youth Services. They call it the Children's Bureau here in Westmoreland County. And the only person that really stuck up for me was the lady that worked there, the investigator, the caseworker, I guess, Miss Henready. She was a very um, nice lady, and she actually did her job, and I commend her for that. So if you're watching this, I thank you very much for what you did, what you tried to do. Um, she actually investigated, talked to me multiple times, talked to my fiance, actually went over to my son's house, spoke to them and the mother a few times, and she straight up said she does not believe their story. She sees exactly what's going on here, and they see this type of thing all the time. Um, they are listed in my federal lawsuit, CYS, and it's not because Miss Henready at all. It's not because she didn't do her job, but it's because they should have never taken this case. First off, they should have never taken this. Second off, I had actually contacted them about some other serious issues after all this has happened, um, with my oldest son, and they didn't want to do nothing about it. And I emailed them back and said, "You got to be kidding me! If this doesn't meet the threshold of somebody that should be investigated or kids endangered, then I don't know what is." She took the lady I talked to basically told me to shut up. She's done talking to me. Here's my boss's email. If you want to talk to him, go ahead. I'm done. That's what she did. So back to the story. Then it was the state police. She went up there, filed the state police charges, um, corruption of minors, and endangering the welfare of a child or a minor, one or the other. So it was two charges, um, based off the same story that I gave the kid a pot fake or allowed him to have one. Did not happen. I've been cleared from all this stuff, guys. I don't know how many times I can pound it in your head. I've been cleared from everything. Pretty early on after, I mean, it took some time compared to what now. I'd say about 7, 8 months from start of being accused of all this stuff to having my children taken from me. 7, 8 months afterwards, I've been cleared from the CYS, from the state police, and anything else except for the courts don't want to give my kids back. They haven't gave them back. I've filed motion hearings to reinstate my custody. They didn't do it. And I don't know the reason for it, but we're going to get down to it when we get to federal court. Um, as I said before, the CYS lady actually did try contacting a state trooper. He never answered her call, never returned her call. She tried contacting the court, the DA, let everybody know of what her finding is, and that I shouldn't be going through this anymore, and I should have the kids back basically. And I'm cleared from everything. So then it moves on to, as we spoke about, the CYS investigation, the police charges. Then I had to go to a hearing at a magistrate, and I was ordered to go to SPHS, which is Southwestern Pennsylvania Behavioral Health Center or something. They do a lot of work with the court across the street. They're basically across the street from the courthouse. They send a lot of people there for all their stuff, whatever it is. They forced me, in order to get the charges dropped, they forced me to go get a drug and alcohol evaluation and give a urinalysis that I didn't know I had to give, but I did. It was clean. And then they jerked me around too. They tried keeping me on this Ferris wheel going round and round and round. And they wanted me to, they recommended to the judge that I need outpatient therapy, but I actually don't. I don't even drink and I don't do drugs. Um, I take two prescribed medications from my PA doctor and that's it. I don't do drugs. Never did. It's just insane. So let's get back on track here. I took the evaluation, passed your analysis, as I said. The counselor verbally told me that I was good to go. I'd be cleared, should send the paper to the judge. Like I said, when the judge got it, it actually recommended that I need therapy. So that's what they tried doing there with that aspect of this all. Um, then we have the judge's violations and conflict of interest that we had, where her husband is a lawyer and represented me early on in my support case or divorce case, whatever it may be, and continued, didn't recuse, actually signed orders. I showed you guys the last video. Um, and then the big problem that I have here with all this is domestic relations, the child support office. These people are straight up crooks, thieves, liars, downright snakes. Each and every single one of them. They are. That's all there is to it. They lie. They fabricate stories to fit their narrative. It's all about how much money can they make. And you guys keep following me and watch what I do. I'm going to expose every single thing that they have done wrong because they have no idea, and I mean no idea, of the amount of evidence, documented proof that I have on them. And I'm not just talking about my case. I'm talking other people have reached out, people that work at the courthouse, and I'm not going to bring up names or who or what departments. There are people in the courthouse that came out and have been giving a lot of information. And I probably shouldn't even say that, but I'm not going to say who it is or what they're giving, but they should be kind of concerned, I think. Um, because when this gets to trial, which I will make sure it goes to trial, I will not settle. I did send letters offering to settle early just to have this done and out of my hair and forget it. But they ignored me. So I gave you the chance to do that. They ignored me. So now we're going to go all the way. I'm going to get it in front of a jury of my peers, and we're going to see just exactly all the things that you guys, the domestic relations, have done, and everybody involved in this has done. Again, when you do these kind of lawsuits, you got to dig up everything on everybody and every agency, and that's exactly what I'm doing. So when it hits discovery, I have lists that are probably a mile long for each defendant of things that I'm going to get into and find out. Absolutely. Phone records, email records, notes, you name it, anything you've done, said, thought about, I will find out and it will be used against you. So you can do that to me if you want, you're not going to find much. Not that interesting. So anyway, back on track here. Let's go where we're at. We're at domestic relations. Like I said, these people are just insane. You take a man's kids from him. You take his rights to be a father away. You accuse him of something. He's been cleared of those accusations by law, and you still didn't say, you know what? Here's your children back. That's it. Nope. What do? We keep your children from you. You try to get them back multiple times, and we just keep denying it. And then we send in these coward lawyers, like the one my ex hired, and sat there and made accusations in front of a judge saying I'm mentally ill, my children are deathly afraid of me and terrified of me and don't want to be around me. That's all lies. It's defamation. And yes, I'm suing her. I've got a lawsuit against it. I am done putting up with these people doing whatever they want to do and thinking they can get away with it. I'm that brick wall that you just hit. I started bringing up the issue about not having a Title 4D application. This is around or beginning of the year. I started asking questions. My case is labeled Title 4D. Where's the application from my ex to the domestic relations that is required by federal law and state law that you must have, and it must be in a certain order and have certain criteria. It must meet a certain criteria of information on it. I've been through multiple motions hearings that I filed demanding about a Title 4D application, and you know what their Title 4D attorney, Emily Geiger, says? There isn't one that I know of that we can give Mr. Jackson. We would never enter into any kind of agreement or contract between either plaintiff or defendant. And it's in court transcripts. Now, I know that she's going to go and try to flip the script around and say, well, this is what I meant. That's not what I was saying. And this is what he said, not that. It ain't going to work. Just telling you now, it's not going to work. Um, I have time. I have all the time in the world to sit here in this godforsaken office to put everything together like I do and to pick everything apart that they have done. And that's what I'm doing. Then even in the open records, I'm sorry, in the court transcript in the middle of court, I brought up the fact that I've sent multiple letters, most of them requiring answers, demanding answers to the domestic relations office. And in this motions hearing, again, their wonderful Title 4D attorney, Emily Geiger, stated on the record, they do not have to answer to my legal notices, my documents, my mail that I send them. It is not their responsibility or their office's policy to answer or reply to Mr. Jackson. And we have a stack of papers from Mr. Jackson. It's a clear violation of due process amongst many other things. You just can't make this shit up, guys. It's just insane. Um, I know I sound like a broken record, maybe, um, and that's okay because I'm doing this for my documentation, and hopefully some other people will see this and kind of learn what you got to do to stand up for your rights. Because at the end of the day, that's what I'm doing: standing up for my rights, standing up for my children, fighting for my children to get them back, fighting a corrupt court system, family court system, I should say, and domestic relations. So this whole thing with all these people involved in having my children taken from me and not giving them back, that is a that is why I filed a civil RICO Act predicate charge on them, because they were all involved on doing the same thing, which is deprivation of rights under the color of law 241 and 242, 18 USC. Everybody should know that one. Um, when they work together towards one common goal, that brings it up to be a RICO Act. So that is not a minor count. That is a very serious count, and that is in my federal lawsuit. And I'm pretty sure the federal judge sees that I have something here. I'm trying to do my best to go about it the right way. I'm not a lawyer. I don't pretend to be. But I think I put it together pretty well. And I think he sees it's not frivolous. If it was a frivolous claim or it seemed like that, this case would have been dropped, thrown out, and stomped on long ago. And I really can't wait to get in front of the federal judge and in that federal courthouse. I'm really chomping at the bit to get to it at this point. I really am. There's been concealment of documentation of documents I filed a right to know request and demanded all my paperwork from domestic relations. And when you do that, they are supposed to give you every single piece of paper in your case, your child support case, and they have not done that. So far, they had said there's no Title 4D application. Then they turned around and said there is. It's actually a generic 4-page complaint. Um, and then later on there was 4 pages added on to that complaint that I was telling you guys about, all the redacted stuff on there. And now they're calling it a Title 4D application. So first we go, there is no Title 4D application. We don't know what you're talking about. Then it goes, well, that's the complaint that we used. And I said, okay, well, there's 4 pages. Where's the rest? Because a Title 4D application is about yay thick and has all these requirements to it. Then you hear crickets. And then a few weeks later, magically pops these 4 extra papers out of nowhere that I've never seen, that were not in none of the case files that I got from the domestic relations. I didn't think they would do that, but they did. They made it up. They're fabricating stuff. They're doing whatever they can to stay above water, but it only lasts so long. Then I had a meeting over the lien that they put on my home this past time, and I want to make it clear to you guys, this isn't the first time they put a lien on me and actually took thousands of dollars without notice. This is about the third or fourth time they've done it. Um, yes. So they've actually garnished a couple of we used to get those stimulus checks back in the day. They garnished, like, I think all of the ones that I would ever had. They snatched them before I could even have them. Uh, I sold a house before that we had fixed up and lived at for a while. They snagged $12,000 out from underneath me. Again, without no notice, without no hearing. Um, they did it again during another time when I filed for a loan. Um, I was notified by the bank that you have $1,100 lien against your property from domestic relations, and you have to pay it or we can't give you the loan. And it's all documented. And then we have this last time where they just took $6,000 from my sale of my latest home here, and yeah, there's no notice, no hearing, nothing, and that is a violation of laws. You're not allowed to do that. Um, and I have it all well documented. I have everything documented. It's just when when this gets to court and hopefully it gets on the news, because that's my main goal, is to get this public. That's why I make these videos as often as I can, to keep you guys, keep interacting with you guys, and keep you guys up to date on what's going on. And I can also fall back on these videos if I ever need to remember something, or something sparks my mind and I need to go back and look at something. Um, so yeah, there's a lot of problems, and guys, for the record, before we sign off here, I'm not. It's not going to be a long video. um, my goal is not revenge at all. My goal is accountability, transparency, and justice. And I'm not some civil rights advocate. I'm not some guy walks around talking about my rights this, my rights that. You did it. I was never that guy, and I still probably never will be. But I am more aware of my rights and how they got destroyed and shoved aside and stepped on, and nobody cared. So now that's why I do care. And I think every one of you should really start looking into it. Know what your rights are. There's a lot of them, and they're getting violated every day because we let them. And we got to put a stop to that. So nobody is above the law, not judges, attorneys, or government agencies. I fought for freedom overseas, guys, and I shouldn't have to fight this hard here for my own children and my own country at home, but I am, and I will not give up. I will never stop, and I appreciate you guys for following me and me through this journey that I go through. Again, it's the worst part of it is not seeing your children. It literally is like, it is, I don't know how to explain it, but it's literally like having children and they've died because you don't see them. Like that's how I live. I adjusted my life, my mind, because I don't know how else to get through every day without my kids that I was with since the day they were born. Um, I don't know how it got this far. Well, I do, and that's why I'm here actually. And I just can't believe it got this far. So my kids always love them, no matter what. And one day they will see how much and how hard I fought for them. So thank you guys for stopping by and watching today's video. Stay tuned for the next one. I got something really good planned for you guys. Take care.